The massive screen in Earth's Defense Command Center blinked red as thousands of unknown objects appeared beyond Neptune's orbit. Admiral James Thompson stood with his hands clasped behind his back, his weathered face illuminated by the emergency lights. After 30 years of preparation, humanity's greatest test had arrived. "Sir, the objects are moving in formation. This isn't natural movement," reported Officer Anna Parker, her fingers flying across the holographic controls. "Computer confirms these are ships. Massive ones." Thompson nodded slowly. They had known this day would come. Ever since they had found that crashed scout ship in Antarctica 15 years ago, Earth had been preparing for this moment. "Alert all stations," he ordered. "Initiate protocol shield." Around the planet, hidden facilities whirred to life. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, and deep in the Sahara Desert, mankind's secret weapons stirred from their slumber. The world's greatest secret was about to be revealed. The alien fleet approached with confidence, their massive ships dwarfing anything humanity had ever built, or so they thought. Their formation spoke of military precision and centuries of unchallenged dominance. A signal cut through Earth's communications, the main screen filled with the image of a tall, humanoid figure dressed in ornate military clothing. Its gray skin and 4 eyes marked it as definitely non-human. Primitive world designated as Earth, the alien spoke in perfect English, thanks to their advanced translation technology. "I am High Commander Robert of the Galactic Empire. Your world has been chosen to join our glorious empire. Surrender now and become our subjects. Resist and face destruction." They had practiced this moment in 1,000 simulations. Thompson straightened his uniform and stepped forward. "This is Admiral James Thompson of the United Earth Defense Forces. We have received your message." The alien commander smiled, probably expecting immediate surrender. Instead, Thompson continued, "Earth respectfully declines your offer." The alien's 4 eyes blinked in surprise. "Perhaps you don't understand your situation. Our fleet carries enough firepower to reduce your cities to ash. Your primitive defenses cannot possibly." "We understand perfectly," Thompson interrupted, "and our answer remains the same. Earth is not accepting new management at this time." The United Earth Defense Council watched the exchange from their secure bunker beneath Geneva. President Martinez smiled. The aliens' arrogance was exactly what they had expected. High Commander Robert's face darkened with anger. "You leave us no choice. We will demonstrate our power. Your largest city will serve as an example." "I wouldn't do that if I were you," Thompson warned calmly. "Earth's space is restricted. Any unauthorized entry will be met with force." The alien commander actually laughed. "You threaten the Imperial fleet with force. What force? Our scans show no significant space defenses. Your handful of primitive satellites pose no threat to us." Thompson allowed himself a small smile. "Those are just the defenses we let you see." The alien fleet moved closer, passing Jupiter's orbit. On Earth, hidden sensors tracked their every move. In secret bases around the world, crews manned stations that officially didn't exist. Weapons that humanity shouldn't have yet were powered up. "Last warning," Thompson announced. "Turn your fleet around." The alien commander sneered. "Deploy the first wave. Show these primitives their place." 20 Imperial ships broke formation, heading toward Earth. They expected to find a helpless planet. Instead, space itself seemed to come alive. Hidden stations around Jupiter activated. Weapons recovered from the Antarctic crash site, studied and mass-produced in secret, powered up. The Empire's primitive targets revealed their true nature. The first wave of Imperial ships flew straight into a web of defenses that shouldn't have existed. Energy beams lanced out from invisible platforms, guided projectiles that broke the laws of physics as the Empire understood them, struck with perfect accuracy. Within minutes, 15 of the 20 ships were destroyed or disabled. The remaining 5 retreated in panic. On the screen, High Commander Robert's gray face had lost several shades of color. This is impossible. You can't have this technology. You're a primitive world. About that, Thompson replied, we may have found some of your lost technology, and we may have made some improvements. He leaned forward, his voice firm. Earth is not primitive. Earth is not defenseless. And Earth is most definitely not interested in joining your empire. Would you like to rethink your position, or should we demonstrate our capabilities further? The silence that followed was answer enough. Humanity's time hiding in the shadows was over. The galaxy would soon learn that Earth was not to be trifled with. And this was just the beginning. The Imperial fleet hung in space near Jupiter, their massive ships reflecting the distant sunlight. Inside the fleet's command ship, High Commander Robert paced back and forth, his 4 eyes narrowed in anger and confusion. Impossible, he muttered. A primitive world cannot have such weapons. Cannot. On Earth, Admiral Thompson watched the enemy fleet through advanced sensors. The command center buzzed with activity as officers tracked every Imperial ship's movement. Sir, Officer Parker called out. They're reorganizing their fleet. Looks like they're planning something big. Thompson nodded. He had expected this. The Empire wouldn't retreat after one defeat. Their pride wouldn't allow it. The main screen flickered as High Commander Robert's image appeared again. Admiral Thompson, he said, trying to sound calm. There seems to be a misunderstanding. Perhaps we can discuss terms. The terms are simple, Thompson replied. Leave Earth space, and we have no quarrel with you. You don't understand. The Empire cannot simply leave. It would show weakness. Robert's voice hardened. We are launching our main fleet. Your defenses, however impressive, cannot stop all of us. Thompson sighed. Actually, what you saw was just our outer defense ring. Would you like to see what else we have? In orbit around Earth, hidden technology started to reveal itself. Thousands of satellites shimmered into view as their cloaking fields dropped. Massive defense platforms appeared around the moon. And in high orbit, Earth's secret fleet decloaked. Ships that matched the Empire's largest vessels in size. Robert's 4 eyes widened in shock. This is beyond impossible. Those ships, they're using our own designs. Improved designs. Actually, Thompson corrected him. That crashed ship you lost near Earth's South Pole. Very educational. Our scientists learned a lot from it. Though I must thank you. Your attack today let us finally show what we've built. The Imperial commander slammed his fist down. Enough. All ships, advance. We will not be humiliated by a single planet. The Imperial fleet surged forward, nearly 1,000 ships moving as one. They expected Earth to panic at such overwhelming force. Instead, Thompson smiled. Activate the shield. Around Earth, thousands of hidden nodes powered up. A massive energy field spread out, connecting them all. Within seconds, a shimmering blue barrier surrounded the entire planet. Let me show you something else we developed, Thompson said. Officer Parker, activate the sun station. Near the sun, a hidden station that had been monitoring solar activity for years came to life. It focused the sun's energy through advanced lenses and receivers. A massive beam of concentrated solar energy shot out, carefully aimed to miss the Imperial ships, but close enough to show its power. The beam could have destroyed half their fleet. The Imperial ships stopped dead in space. That, Thompson explained calmly, was using about 2% of the station's power. Would you like to see what 100% looks like? For the first time, real fear showed on Robert's face. You're insane. Playing with solar energy at that scale. Not insane. Prepared. Thompson's voice was firm. We found your scout ship. We knew you would come eventually. So we spent 15 years getting ready. Everything you see here, it's just the start. The Imperial commander stared at his tactical display, finally understanding. Earth hadn't just copied their technology. They had mastered it and improved it. His ships were now the primitive ones. Admiral Thompson, Robert said slowly, perhaps we should discuss those terms again. I thought you might say that. Thompson nodded to Officer Parker, who sent a data packet to the Imperial fleet. These are our conditions. First, the Empire will recognize Earth's independence and our claim to the entire solar system. As Thompson listed Earth's terms, the other officers in the command center allowed themselves to relax slightly. Humanity's great gamble had paid off. They had hidden their true strength, prepared in secret, and when the Empire came, they were ready. The Empire had expected to find a primitive world ready for conquest. Instead, they found humanity at its finest, innovative, determined, and unwilling to bow to any foreign power. And this was just their first step into the galaxy. 3 days after Earth's show of force, a new message arrived. This time, it wasn't from High Commander Robert. The massive screen in Earth's Defense Command Center showed a different figure, older, with deep gray skin and 6 eyes instead of 4. "I am Emperor Marcus." The being's voice filled the room. "You have insulted my empire." Admiral Thompson stood calmly before the screen. Behind him, the command center staff worked silently, monitoring Earth's defenses. "No insult was intended, Emperor," Thompson replied. "We simply defended our home." The Emperor's 6 eyes narrowed. "You stole our technology. You built weapons in secret. You dare to threaten the peace of the galaxy." "Peace?" Thompson allowed himself a small laugh. "You mean the peace of conquest. We found your crashed ship. We also found its records. We know how many worlds you've conquered." The Emperor leaned forward. "Then you know resistance is pointless. I command 10,000 worlds. Earth is nothing. And yet here we are." Thompson said, "Your first attack failed. Would you like to try again?" The Emperor's face darkened. "You think your tricks will save you? I have already ordered my main fleet to mobilize. 100,000 ships are coming. Not the small force you faced before. This is the true might of the Empire." In Geneva's underground bunker, the United Earth Defense Council watched the exchange. President Martinez pressed a button on her desk. "Emperor Marcus," she said, joining the conversation. "I am Earth's Council President. Before you make threats, you should know something. We didn't just study your ship's weapons." She nodded to Thompson, who pressed several controls. Across the solar system, more hidden stations revealed themselves. Massive shipyards around Mars uncloaked. Construction facilities near Venus showed themselves. And most importantly, the wormhole gate near Pluto became visible. "We found your faster-than-light travel technology," Martinez continued. "We've already sent ships through the galaxy. We have allies. Other worlds that don't want to bow to your empire." For the first time, the Emperor showed surprise. "Impossible. Our sensors would have detected." "Your sensors," Thompson interrupted. "The ones we learned to fool 15 years ago. While you thought we were primitive, we were studying everything about you. Your technology, your tactics, your weaknesses." Officer Parker's console beeped. "Sir, detecting multiple wormholes opening. Our allies are arriving." Ships began appearing around Jupiter, vessels of different designs, from different worlds. The Emperor watched in growing horror as fleet after fleet arrived. 10 worlds you tried to conquer," Martinez explained. 10 worlds that chose to stand with us instead. They've been helping us prepare, sharing their own technologies, building this alliance." The Emperor's face twisted with rage. "You dare to turn my own subjects against me. This is your final chance. Surrender now, or I will destroy everything you've built." Thompson shook his head. "Look at your tactical display, Emperor. Really look. Those shipyards, they've been working for a decade. We don't have a few hundred ships. We have thousands, and our allies bring thousands more." "Sir," Officer Parker called out, "the lunar defense grid is fully charged. Solar station reports ready. All allied fleets in position." The Emperor was silent for a long moment. When he spoke again, his voice was cold. "You think you've won. This is just the beginning. I will gather every ship, every soldier, every weapon in the Empire. I will come for Earth myself. We'll be waiting. Thompson replied. "But consider this. While you gather your forces, our allies are spreading our shield technology to other worlds. How many systems will reject your rule once they can defend themselves?" The Emperor's image vanished without another word. The command center was quiet for a moment. "He'll be back," Martinez said softly. Thompson nodded. "Yes, but now he knows the truth. Earth isn't just another primitive world to conquer. We're the world that will end his empire's reign of terror." Around the solar system, Earth's forces remained on high alert. The Allied ships took up defensive positions. Humanity had revealed its true strength, and there was no going back. The next move belonged to the Empire, and Earth would be ready. 2 weeks after Emperor Marcus's threat, the Imperial fleet arrived. They came through hundreds of wormholes, their ships darkening the space around Jupiter. 100,000 vessels, just as promised. In Earth's Defense Command Center, Admiral Thompson watched the massive fleet appear on the main screen. "Right on schedule," he said quietly. "Sir," Officer Parker reported, "enemy fleet is spreading out. They're using the new formation we haven't seen before." Thompson smiled. "Of course they are. They won't use the tactics we've already countered." He pressed his comm button. "All stations, prepare for Protocol Thunderstorm." Across the solar system, Earth's defenders moved into position. The Allied ships from other worlds formed up near Mars. Earth's own fleet spread out in a defensive screen around the planet. The massive shield system hummed with power. Emperor Marcus's face appeared on the main screen. He wore full battle armor, his 6 eyes glowing with anger. "Last chance, Admiral. Surrender now." "You know our answer," Thompson replied calmly. "Earth is not for sale, rent, or conquest." "Then watch your world burn." The Emperor raised his hand. "All ships, attack." The Imperial fleet surged forward like a massive wave. Their ships fired strange new weapons, ones Earth hadn't seen before. Beams of twisted space and balls of dark energy shot toward Earth's defenses. Thompson pressed a button. "Activate countermeasures." Hidden within the asteroid belt, special stations came to life. They created a web of energy that caught the Imperial weapons, turning their own power against them. Dozens of Imperial ships were destroyed by their own shots. "Impossible," the Emperor roared. "Those defenses, those are from the Ancient Ones. No one has that technology." "Wrong again," Thompson said. "We found their ruins on Mars. Been studying them for years. Did you think we'd show you everything during our first meeting?" The Emperor's face twisted with rage. "Forward. All ships, full attack." The battle erupted across the solar system. Near Jupiter, Earth's allied fleet engaged the Imperial ships. Weapons fire lit up space like new stars being born. The Imperial fleet had numbers, but Earth and its allies had prepared for years. "Sir," Parker called out, "they're targeting the moon with some kind of super weapon." Thompson nodded. "Just as we expected. Activate the lunar trap." As the Imperial super weapon fired at the moon, the surface of Earth's satellite shimmered. The massive blast hit what looked like the moon, but was actually an enormous hologram. The real moon was safely phased out of normal space, protected by technology reverse-engineered from the Ancient One's ruins. The Emperor watched in shock as his super weapon did nothing. "What are you?" "We're humanity," Thompson answered. "While you conquered worlds, we learned. While you forced others to serve you, we made allies. And while you relied on fear, we prepared." "Sir," Parker reported with excitement, "the Imperial fleet is losing ships fast. Our hit-and-run teams are tearing through their supply lines." Small, fast Earth ships darted between the massive Imperial vessels. They used technology that let them partially phase out of normal space, making them nearly impossible to hit. The Imperial fleet's formation began to break apart. 30% of their fleet is down, Parker announced. Their left flank is collapsing. The Emperor slammed his fist down. "This isn't over. Begin the Darkness Protocol." Thompson's eyes widened. "All ships, fall back. They're going to." Before he could finish, The Imperial fleet released thousands of small black devices. They exploded into clouds of dark energy, creating zones where technology wouldn't work. Clever, Thompson admitted, but not clever enough. Activate the quantum field generators. Earth's defense platforms fired beams of pure quantum energy, clearing paths through the darkness. The battle continued, but now the Imperial fleet had used one of its best weapons, and it hadn't worked. 40% of enemy fleet destroyed or disabled, Parker reported. Our casualties at 12%. Allied casualties at 15%. Thompson looked at the Emperor's enraged face on the screen. Would you like to continue? Or should we show you what else we found in those ancient ruins? The Emperor cut the communication. His fleet began to retreat, pulling back toward Jupiter. They'll be back, Thompson said, with something worse. But Earth had more surprises waiting. The real battle was just beginning. The defeated Imperial fleet regrouped near Saturn, licking their wounds. But Earth wasn't going to wait for them to recover. In the Defense Command Center, Admiral Thompson stood before the gathered fleet commanders, both human and alien allies. Operation Homeworld Shield begins now, he announced. It's time to take the fight to them. On the main screen, a complex battle plan appeared. Earth's greatest military minds had spent years developing it, and now it was time to use it. Officer Parker's hands flew across her console. All ships report ready, sir. The AI combat systems are fully online. Thompson nodded. Show me the Emperor. The screen split, showing Emperor Marcus on his command ship. The Emperor looked tired now, his 6 eyes dulled with worry. Emperor, Thompson said, we're offering you one chance to retreat from our solar system completely. The Emperor laughed, but it sounded hollow. You think because you won one battle, you can make demands. I still command the largest fleet in the galaxy. Not for long. Thompson gave the signal. All ships, execute Operation Homeworld Shield. Earth's fleet moved with perfect precision, guided by advanced AI systems that could react faster than any organic pilot. But these weren't normal AIs. They were based on technology found in the ancient ruins, modified and improved by human innovation. First wave, engage cloaking, Thompson ordered. Second wave, prepare quantum jumps. Thousands of Earth ships vanished from view. The Imperial fleet's sensors went crazy, trying to track them. Then space itself seemed to tear open as Earth's second wave appeared inside the Imperial formation. Impossible, the Emperor shouted. No one can calculate quantum jumps that precisely. Our AIs can, Thompson replied. And that's not all they can do. The AI-controlled ships moved like dancers, each motion calculated to perfection. They struck at weak points in Imperial ships that only a computer could spot. The Imperial fleet, still recovering from their earlier defeat, began to fall into chaos. Sir, Parker reported excitedly, the quantum viruses are working. Their ship computers are shutting down. This was humanity's secret weapon, computer viruses that could travel through quantum space, infecting Imperial ships instantly. Earth's scientists had developed them after studying the Empire's computer systems for years. The Emperor watched in horror as his ships began to drift helplessly. What have you done? We studied everything about you, Thompson explained. Your technology, your tactics, your computer systems. Did you think we spent 15 years doing nothing? Then came the next phase. Earth's allies, hidden near Uranus, opened fire. Their ships used weapons the Empire had never seen. Combinations of their technology and Earth's innovations. Sir, Parker called out, Imperial supply lines are cut. Their reinforcements can't get through our quantum disruption field. The Emperor's face showed real fear now. Stop this. You can't destroy the Empire. We bring order to the galaxy. No, Thompson replied. You bring slavery and fear. Our allies told us everything. How you force worlds to serve you. How you crush any resistance. That ends today. Earth's fleet pressed forward, pushing the Imperial forces back. More ships appeared, vessels from other worlds that had secretly supported Earth's rebellion. Incoming transmission, Parker announced. 5 Imperial worlds are declaring independence. They're joining our alliance. The Emperor's command screen filled with reports of rebellion. Worlds that had waited for a sign of Imperial weakness were rising up. The Empire's grip on the galaxy was slipping. "This isn't possible," the Emperor whispered. "We are eternal. We are power itself." "No," Thompson corrected him. "You're just bullies who finally met someone who wasn't afraid. Someone who prepared. Someone who made friends instead of slaves." The battle continued, but its outcome was already clear. The Empire's fleet was in ruins, their supply lines cut, and their subject worlds were rebelling. "Final casualty report," Parker announced proudly. "Enemy fleet at 70% losses. Our losses under 20%. Thompson looked at the Emperor's shocked face. "Would you like to discuss surrender terms, or should we continue showing you what humanity can do when we work with our allies?" The Emperor said nothing, but his silence spoke volumes. The galaxy was changing, and humanity had lit the spark. The counter-strike had worked perfectly, but Thompson knew this was still just the beginning. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Earth had defeated the Empire's main fleet. In the Imperial Palace on the capital world of Nova Prime, Emperor Marcus faced a rebellion of his own. "The outer systems are declaring independence," reported his advisor, showing a map where huge sections of the Empire were turning red. 20 worlds have already joined Earth's alliance. Back in Earth's Defense Command Center, Admiral Thompson watched multiple screens showing chaos spreading through the Empire. Officer Parker worked quickly to sort through incoming messages. "Sir," she said, "we're getting calls for help from dozens of worlds. They want to break free from the Empire, but they need protection." Thompson smiled. This was exactly what they had planned for. Send them the defense plans. Show them how to build the shield systems. President Martinez appeared on the main screen from Geneva. "Admiral, our diplomats are overwhelmed. Every hour, more Imperial worlds want to join our alliance." "Good," Thompson replied. "The Empire maintained control through fear. Once that fear is gone." Suddenly, all screens flickered. Emperor Marcus appeared, but he looked different now. His ornate armor was gone, replaced by simple military gear. His 6 eyes showed desperation. "Admiral Thompson," he said, his voice hoarse, "my own military is turning against me. Half my generals have joined your alliance. The others demand I continue the war." "And what do you want?" Thompson asked calmly. The Emperor seemed to deflate. "I want to talk. Really talk. No threats, no demands." In the background of the Emperor's transmission, they could hear explosions. The Imperial Palace was under attack from rebel forces. Thompson nodded to Officer Parker. She pressed several buttons, sending encoded signals across space. "Our allies are moving to secure key Imperial worlds," she reported. "Peacefully, where possible." "Emperor Marcus," Thompson said, "here are our terms. The Empire will become a confederation of free worlds. Each planet chooses its own government. You can remain as a ceremonial leader if the people accept it." The Emperor laughed bitterly. "You're not just defeating us. You're completely changing how the galaxy works." "That's right," Thompson agreed. "Because your way, rule through fear and force, doesn't work. Earth and our allies prove that." Another explosion rocked the Imperial Palace. The Emperor looked over his shoulder nervously. "My own guards are fighting each other. Some want to arrest me. Others want to help me escape." "We can help," Thompson offered, "but you must publicly announce the Empire's transformation. Now, before the fighting gets worse." The Emperor straightened up. For a moment, they saw the proud ruler he had once been. "You planned this all along, didn't you? Not just the military victory, the whole collapse of the Empire." "We learned from history," Thompson explained. "The best way to defeat an empire isn't just through military force. It's by showing people a better way." President Martinez joined in. Your worlds don't have to be enemies or slaves. They can be allies, partners, friends. Earth isn't looking to replace the Empire. We want to help build something better. On screens across the galaxy, Imperial worlds watch their Emperor make the hardest decision of his life. I agree to your terms. The Empire will transform. All worlds are free to choose their own path. The effect was immediate. The fighting in the Imperial Palace stopped. Across the galaxy, celebrations erupted on hundreds of worlds. Centuries of Imperial rule were ending. "Sir," Parker reported, reading incoming messages, Imperial fleets everywhere are standing down. The rebel worlds are organizing a conference to discuss the new confederation. Thompson nodded. "Send them our proposals. And get our diplomats ready. We have a lot of work to do." The Emperor looked tired but relieved. "I never imagined Earth would not just defeat us, but change us, change the whole galaxy." "That's humanity for you," Thompson said with a small smile. "We're full of surprises." As the transmission ended, Thompson looked at the star map showing the former empire. Hundreds of worlds were now free, ready to chart their own course. "The hard part begins now," Martinez said. "Building something new is always harder than tearing something down." Thompson agreed. The galaxy was entering a new age, and Earth would help lead the way. 1 year after the Empire's transformation, representatives from 300 worlds gathered in Earth's new space station, Unity. The massive station orbited between Earth and the Moon, a symbol of humanity's journey from a single world to a galactic power. Admiral Thompson stood at the main window, watching ships from dozens of different civilizations arrive. Officer Parker, now promoted to Commander Parker, approached with a datapad. "Final attendance reports, sir," she said. "Every major world is here, even the former Emperor." The gathering was historic, the first Galactic Confederation Summit. In 1 year, the galaxy had changed more than it had in the previous 1,000. President Martinez stepped onto the main stage of the conference hall. Representatives from hundreds of worlds turned to listen. Among them sat former Emperor Marcus, now serving as a cultural advisor to the Confederation. 1 year ago, Martinez began, Earth faced the Empire alone. Today we stand together as equals, not as rulers and subjects, but as partners and friends. The main screen showed images from across the galaxy. Worlds that once lived in fear now built their own defense systems, using Earth's shield technology. Trade flowed freely between planets. New discoveries were shared instead of hoarded. "The Terran Defense Pact is now complete," Martinez announced. "Any world that joins receives our shield technology and AI defense systems. But more importantly, they join a community that helps each other grow." Admiral Thompson took the stage next. "Our fleet no longer serves just Earth. The combined defense force protects all member worlds. We stand ready to defend any world that faces aggression." Former Emperor Marcus stood up. The hall went quiet. This was his first public speech since the Empire's end. "I ruled through fear," he admitted, his 6 eyes showing humility. "I thought it was the only way. Earth showed us a better path, not just through their weapons or technology, but through their willingness to share and help others." Commander Parker's console beeped. "Sir," she whispered to Thompson, "long-range sensors detect a ship entering the galaxy. Unknown design, possibly from beyond the rim." Thompson nodded calmly. The galaxy was ready now. Earth's preparations hadn't just been about the Empire. They had found warnings in the ancient ruins about other threats from deep space. "Let them come," he whispered back. "They'll find a united galaxy waiting for them." On the stage, President Martinez unveiled the new Confederation Charter. "Each world governs itself," she explained. "The Confederation exists to help all members grow stronger together. Our differences make us stronger. Our unity makes us unbeatable." The chamber erupted in applause. Representatives from hundreds of worlds, former enemies, former slaves, former rivals, stood together. Commander Parker showed Thompson another report. 40 more worlds had applied to join the Confederation. The new galactic order was growing faster than anyone had expected. Earth has no desire to rule, Martinez continued. We learned from the Empire's mistakes. True strength comes from cooperation, not control. From sharing knowledge, not hoarding it. From lifting each other up, not pushing others down. The former emperor stood again. I propose a new title for Earth, he announced. Not as rulers or conquerors, but as teachers. The world that showed us a better way. Thompson smiled, remembering how it all began. One crashed Imperial ship in Antarctica. 15 years of secret preparation. And now, a completely transformed galaxy. A child from one of the newly freed worlds approached the stage. She carried a simple flower, the first plant grown in space, using Earth's new terraforming technology. This is what we build together, Martinez said, accepting the flower. Not empires of fear, but gardens of hope. As the summit continued, Thompson looked at the star map showing the known galaxy. The former empire's borders were gone, replaced by a network of cooperating worlds. Earth had done more than win a war. It had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. Commander Parker, he said quietly, send out the alert to all defense stations. Whatever's coming from beyond the rim will find us ready. The galaxy was entering a new age. Earth had declared itself closed to empires and conquerors, but open to friends and allies. And together, they were ready for whatever the universe might bring next. The end.